Glory to Ukraine, glory to brave Ukrainian army. Ukraine stands, Ukraine's fighting for the whole democracy in the world. Augusta Luise and late September walk through my roses, through my rose garden, and how a lot of beauties, a lot of varieties, how they are showing themselves and how they are performing at this pretty late, I would say, in my conditions. Of course, it depends on the region. Even in Ukraine, here we have different regions, and depending on that region, on the location of a rose garden, it could be late. It could be called pretty late for the rose season, and it could be in parallel called not so late, because there would be even next flush of the blooming of our roses, favorite flowers of many gardeners. And Augusta Luise, as I have said, and it is growing in my garden from 2020, but in this place I have replanted it from another one, and here it is grown the second season, and it is showing, and it is blooming the second season, and this is its second flush for this season, and of course it will be last and in not couple of days, but maybe in a week or a week plus, this will be it for this season, for this variety. You know, I am impressed by her performance, by her blooming during this year. First flush, it always very impressive, very generous, very nice one, very floristic. But second flush, it depends. It depends on the weather conditions, and weather conditions here during autumn, most September, so we have rainy days, we have rainy, long-lasting rainy periods, humid periods, etc. But not this year. Not sure how to characterize this, whether this is luckily or not so luckily, because of course ground and soil needs watering, and of course our flowers, our roses, our queen of flowers, they of course need watering to proceed their prominent blooming. And why I was so skeptic about second flush of this variety of Augusta Luise variety in my garden, because I have remembered from previous season that it was very severely damaged and influenced by black spot. It was completely naked, branches were without any leaves, and of course, in addition, she did not have strength to open those buds which this rose grown during preparation to the second flush. But this year, situation is better. I do not say, and I could not say that it is completely healthy one. No, of course it is not, and it is seen, I think, based on my camera or on the screen, or the picture you see on your screens, but in general it gave me, and it is now in progress, it gave me two pretty generous, pretty good, not so generous, it could be more generous even, but it gave me two good branches, pretty rich, I would say, especially comparing to my expectations. And this variety, it's fantastic, I would say, if it does not influence, or it is not influenced by diseases. If you apply some pesticides in your gardens, then it will be fantastic. It will be very prominent and a very impressive one. Even here in my garden, under some biological insecticides and pesticides, maybe not pesticides, but fungicides, it showed pretty good, pretty neat, pretty attractive size, not size, but form of flower, and size, of course. Size is not so small, it is not huge, but it is pretty big, I would say. and its form, its location of petals, its composition of petals, its everything in in one. It deserves very high words and very good words about this variety. It has fragrance, very strong fragrance, and it does not, I would not say that it has some a wave of fragrance, but if you smell it from close smelling, right, while you will be smelling each separate flower, you will definitely feel this fragrance, and it will be pretty, I would say, not sweet, rather cold, rather maybe fresh one, but a very nice one as of me. Yeah, one of my beautiful and favorite varieties. Let's go further. This variety is also impressive even on biological treatment. I am applying biological treatment. What is this here in Ukraine? This is these are also fungicides, different types of fungicides, which fighting against those disease causes, right? Against those angry fungicides which influence our roses. Trichoderma, phytosporin. I am not sure. I have not checked how it is called. Trichoderma. I think this is Latin. Not sure about another one. Maybe I will check next videos, and about next videos and about reality in Ukraine once more and more. I will be mentioning, of course, I will be naming, I will be reminding you about war in Ukraine, war of Russia against Ukrainian independent democracy, European country with very long history. And history of our nation, history of our country, it is much more longer than those of Russians. Moscovia, this was their first name, and they were very small, not sure how to call correctly and tolerantly that part of the earth. But yeah, we have different roots. Our nations are separate. We are not joined in any condition. And yeah, what they do, they are completely Russians. I mean, just usual Russians, just usual inhabitants or habitants or people of Russia Federation with Russian passports, etc. They are usual men and women. And the soldiers, they commit crimes day by day. They attack our cities like Konotop, Kherson, Pavlograd, Kharkiv daily and nightly and couple times of day. While I am preparing this video to you, you have to know that they have attacked, like a couple of minutes ago, they have attacked Kharkiv city, just residential buildings with air bombs like they do usually, and of course there will be victims because of these terrorist attacks. And as I have mentioned last week, they have attacked in Sumy city, they have attacked a place where old people live, old people receive some medicines, etc., some help. That was the building of completely old people living there, and they attacked intentionally that building. That nation is completely dehumanized. They were not humanized during the history of humanization. They attack by their bombs, by their missiles. They attack kindergartens, like this was in Konotop city. They attacked municipal clinic, hospital. They attack school, kindergarten. They attack infrastructure, electricity, different electricity stations, power stations, etc. They are fighting against old people, against kids, against pregnant women. They rape pregnant women, they rape kids, and you could even read this articles, yeah, and investigations of our special services. They are in free open in free you could achieve and find them. They are open for every human in the world. So yeah, Pashmina variety, one of my favorite as well, and I would say that it is prominent even for the second flush. Of course, first flush it's usually, or most usually, it starts, or it it blooms during the summer months, and summer months they are most probably they are dry, rather dry than humid, but autumn months like September, October, they are rather humid than dry. But not this year. Yeah, we also see this changing temperatures, changing climate conditions. They are very, very distinctly seen here nowadays. Yeah, Pashmina, it is clearly, as of me, clearly floristic variety. Of course, it is not only floristic variety, it is a very nicely performing rose variety, and it could be used in floristic, I think, as of me, because it has this globular flowers. They will not be open completely, they will stay at some period of opening, like this central one, or even this one. They will stop opening and will stay till the end of their life, life of each separate flower. Also, you can see that it has each flower, it is two colored. Middle part of the flower, it is distinctly rosy pink or pinky rose, and outer petals, they are creamy white, greenish white, something like that. It depends on the temperature during the nights and during the mornings, because now we have during this week and previous one and next one, according to forecast, we will have pretty cold nights already. There will be even 6 plus Celsius above zero, right? But this is close, season is close to the more colder autumn than to summer. This variety is prominent not only because of its flowers, it is completely covered by leaves, which is not usual for most varieties in my garden, because most varieties, they are already with signs of black spot, but not this one. This one is performing perfectly from diseases point of view, right? It does not susceptible to diseases, I mean black spot or mildew or other leaves diseases, but it could be susceptible to this botrytis or rotten, right? Like we have this some varieties, they are tend to ball during humid weather. This one is not so susceptible to such behavior, but from time to time, based on the duration of each separate flower, how long it is already on the bush in this half open state, it could rotten, but in general, or it does not influence very severely to the general view of the bush itself. So yeah, you see that bush itself, it is still very, very nice one, and very floristic one, attractive one, and interesting one. Piano, this is next flush of this variety, and it's pretty late flush, I would say. I am not sure it will open all these flowers which it gave me, because I have here and there a couple of branches, so each ending with clusters of flowers, and only some of them, they are starting to open. And of course it will depend, or it depends on the weather conditions, how it will be further, and in coming days, coming weeks, and I will see or may not see this opening and attractiveness of this variety. This variety is very popular, I must admit, here in Ukraine. In every or almost every garden we have piano variety. We have some other varieties from this line or series, like charming piano, wedding piano, pink piano, etc., etc. But piano, this is classic, this is initial flower, and it is, I must admit, very, very popular here. And here in my garden, it's susceptible to diseases. I even now see signs of black spot, but not very severe ones, and I see signs of mildew. and also not so severe, but still they are here. And how not to like this flower, how not to like this variety. It is beautiful, it is very attractive, it is so interesting in color, in form, in long lasting, in duration of its blooming. Each separate flower, it will be very long lasting on the bush, in cluster, and even you could cut it for yourself. You could cut it for the present to your favorite person. To your friends, you could maybe have some florist business and create buckets from this variety. It suits perfectly for such aims. So yeah, a very nice variety and one of my favorite, of course. And also one more interesting variety, Chartreuse de Parme. This is French bred rose variety. This is deep red hybrid tea. It is. It has very strong fragrance. Fragrance is. It is noticeable and it is felt very strongly while you are smelling it. It does not have wave like night owl, for example, does. Night owl variety, it has very long wave, I would say, of that aroma, of that fragrance. But Chartreuse de Parme, it is prominent because of its flowers, maybe form. I like this form of this variety. I like color of this variety, but I don't like how it the long lastingness of the life of each separate flower. It is not so long lasting. Mainly it depends on the weather conditions, and if it will be under the 25, I would say, degrees, and not so sunny, not so high heat, then it will bloom longer. And if it will be 30 or even 30 plus, of course it will end its life pretty fast. So it is weather dependent. I do not remember whether it depends on the humidity and how. Humidity also influences this variety. Long-lasting humidity will end or will result in some spoiling of outer petals. They will be rotten, and of course this will not good, or this is not good for the general state and general appearance of the flowers. But if weather conditions would be perfect, then these flowers would be perfect too. And I will show you one more beauty, Michel Bras. This is also French bred variety, and maybe it is not prominent in respect of flowers attractiveness, but it is very prominent from the point of view of fragrance. You will be impressed by this fragrance. For those who love fragrance, and this is very important feature in rose varieties for you. You will be impressed how interesting, how nice, how it's hard to, even in Ukraine, it's hard to give correct words, maybe, and to express my feelings that I have while smelling this variety. And it's so interesting, it's so long waving, right? It is felt from far, from even maybe 3-4 meters far, and fragrance is more interesting than other fragrant and aromatic varieties are. Not sure what notes of fragrance is or are here. I think there are maybe some spices, not sure, maybe clove, but fragrance is very interesting. And unfortunately flowers are not so impressive, but for those who also loves such semi-double flowers, this variety also may be interesting and may be attractive. It has a pretty nice color. It's coral pink, and it could be changing these coral shades and pink shades. They are changing based on the day of blooming of each separate flower, and on weather conditions. It does not influence, or it is not influenced severely by weather conditions, but some signs of, for example, humidity, they could be spotted from time to time, and it's complete happiness to film this variety, because I feel this fragrance, and it is impressive, believe me. Interesting, who owns this variety as well? How would you describe this fragrance, and whether you're also impressed by it like I do? And one more variety, La Villa Cotta, Tantau, or Kordes, maybe Tantau if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, it is also very, very popular here in Ukraine because of its stability, I would say, because of its impressiveness. It's very nice one, it's very attractive, and even now you could see signs of these dots, yeah, these spots. These are signs based on temperatures difference between nights and days, and mornings and days, because days during the day we have 25 plus, and in the morning we have yeah, as I have mentioned, now we have 8-9, but we will have even 6 plus. So yeah, these signs are visible and noticeable here, but even with them, with these signs, flowers are impressive. They are of deep orange color, and outer petals are more pinky red, and this color itself and these color combinations, they remind autumn, because autumn for me, this is about yellow, orange and red palette. And this flower, it's iconic, I would say, for these colors and for this season. And of course, ending of the rose season in my garden and in garden of other rose lovers here in Ukraine. Yeah, it gave me this basal branch. It is pretty high. It's already 160 centimeters high, and yeah, a very rich one, very long-lasting one. These flowers, they are already more than a week on the bush, on the branch, and looks like they will stay here still. They are still attractive, and they are very, very noticeable. One of my favorite varieties, although this is only its first season in my garden, but I see that it will impress me even more and more. So thanks for your attention, thanks for listening, thanks for commenting. Please share your thoughts about mentioned varieties, about other varieties which you have and which impressed you during this season. It would be very interesting to read about this and to know more about this. Thanks, till the next video, and bye.